help me at the partnership desk until the meeting.
Neat.
Well, what are those guys doing then? You did your job last night, but you're not going to do it today then?
No, I'm not going to go on the road with them. So.
Oh, not going to go on the road, but you're going to do the 3 nights with them?
No, I'm not going to go up to Charleston or wherever it is. They were going to go.
What are they?
Well, and it just didn't really work out because my kind of humor is just totally foreign to their. I mean, it was an awfully difficult transition for me to try to make. Wet. And had some trouble with his wife or something like that. And what they want is a guy to come out.
You need a hillbilly kind of guy, I guess, for the.
Yeah, not only that, but you got to have a kind of guy that. What they want is a guy to come out and do 8 or 9 spots.
Don't you like them?
Is just I start slow and build, and then you can kind of pace yourself for 20 minutes or a half an hour. But hell, to go out for 2 minutes, and it was tough. Well, we did 2 shows last night, but
Will they let you do your style in 20 minutes?
No, they just wanted the 2 minutes. So I went out and did 1 or 2 jokes and came off. What'd you think of that last night, Rob? That format?
Oh, you mean?
I mean the whole show.
Oh, that was good. They were good singers and everything.
Those guys really fiddled, didn't they?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Skip, we heard on the air that Terry Thompson is going to be at the Marriott tonight at 6:30.
Well, tomorrow night, I think it is.
I mean, tomorrow night.
Oh, is that right? What's at the Marriott?
Special, it's some new deal they're having.
Honey, it's something like...
Big band dances or something.
They called it like big band.
Well, he had a picture of him in the paper. He does his
Terry?
son. He said
Yeah,
Terry
the band.
Thompson Orchestra.
Yeah, there was some
Honey, is it windy?
some shindig downtown, wasn't it? Like the
Did you see
like the Veil
dogs?
Prophet or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Does this look too much in here, honey?
Let me see, Mother. There's not enough light in here to.
Does this look like it's
There
too
you
much?
No, that looks nice.
Mother?
Because, honey, it was so cold down there yesterday, I just froze.
Were you really? Oh, Maureen used to say that about like the.
For Kay's little girls.
What's the place out in St. Charles there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you used to have it? She used to freeze out there.
Well, honey, this was... They had the air conditioning on yesterday. Down there.
I can focus you, but it's not enough light in here to take.
Well...
Yeah. But no, there was a picture of Terry
Of a band, you mean?
or the band, but it was a strange shot. It was like
Yeah.
over the piano and
Yeah.
a
Yeah. He was showing some people dancing or something, wasn't it? I remember
Well, there's
seeing
something about the big band.
It was some,
Big band thing, and the admission is $5, you know?
or like a thing over at the Art Institute or something like that, wasn't it? It was one of these.
There were 3 pictures on the page. I don't recall. I remember one of them was the band, and one of them was like the whatever, like the Veil Prophet. It wasn't the Veil Prophet, but I mean, it was something in that regard.
Robbie, do you like to work crossword?
Well, you have to have special equipment to play that back through the TV, or does that do it? All you do is plug that in now?
No, you can plug that in and play it back.
Is Maureen
TV?
playing today, Skip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is.
Today and tonight.
This is...
But she took off. She's not going to play tomorrow because I was going to be gone. And so she canceled out for tomorrow.
Does she
But
want
she
a
really
partner?
couldn't get out for tonight.
Does she want a partner for tomorrow?
I don't know. Now, she may have changed it since I'm not going.
I have some people that are hanging. The
That guy
Yankees.
called me and he said, now you understand, Skip. He said, now my people, and I said, your own people? He said, now my people, he can't sit on there. He said, now my people only make $2.25 a week. He said, now how am I going to explain it to them if you get 150 a show? I said, well, I won't tell them.
You said what?
I said, well, I won't tell them. He said, now, you know, we give you, though, we're going to give you the transportation and the room and the per diem to eat on. I said, well, how much is it per diem? He said, well, we give you $10 to eat on. I said, I've spilled that much.
Oh, Skip.
Oh, it was funny. Funny. He said, we have kind of a family show, but it's a fast-paced show. And you fit right in with us, I think.
So he heard you somewhere? Or what?
No. They had another chap that they used for a couple of nights. But it was just totally my humor and my style and my delivery. And those guys, they talk, it's all that southern drawl, and they have a
Well, the crowd
country.
that comes to see him is all interested. Looking
They're
for
all country,
stuff,
yeah.
That, you know, nothing makes me madder than for people to put on a southern drawl when they don't have one.
Well, they pick it up in a hurry.
Skip, that burns me up. Did you hear Johnny Carson last evening?
No,
Well, he was the funniest that I have ever heard.
Through it.
Did you?
And Dad slept through it. And then
here's your
oh, is it?
pickup.
Oh, my.
I think I
Tell him I'll be
taped
there
it.
just a second. I
Stop
just
it
got
more.
2
That
more
stuff
nails.
Don't drive fast enough.
It does. Bye, honey. Thanks for letting us have Robbie here.
Oh, he's tickled about it.
Give me right out.
Great. Robbie! Come here, honey.
You'll say goodbye to Grandma. She's got to go.
I gotta go, baby. And I'll see you and Grandpa just a little bit later here. And you got hot dogs, potato chips for lunch. We're gonna take you out tonight, okay?
Okay.
And that's it? Hot dogs, potato chips, right?
Yeah.
And Coke and ice cream and bye, honey.
At the old tournament.
I will just put on my shoulder. I will. I'll be kind of glad this is over.
We'll see you at the registration
That's it, huh?
desk.
That's it.
And we pick you at 5 o'clock and hear from you.
Bye, sweetie.
5 or in a quarter to 5.
5. Have I got my glasses in here?
I don't know.
Oh, I'll reach down there and see, honey. Yeah, they're down there. I see 'em.
If your purse.
On the other side, here. That's him. I see him. Okay, got him. Okay. Bye.
We'll see you, Mom.
Bye, doll. See you, hon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Those guys had a big Greyhound bus that they travel around in.
You better shut that thing off.
Yeah? Looks pretty good. Now I got a good shot of you right there. You can focus in here. Pretty close. Right there.
And that sight through mirrors goes down and looks right through the main center.
Yeah, I guess that goes right through the lens.
'Cause it would have to. Otherwise.
But you can't tell. Now there's a couple of indicators in there. There's a light indicator that shows you if you don't have enough light. Now you can actually play it back through this little. It's a little tube, a little.
A little picture too.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah. You can actually play it. No, Maureen borrowed this. I wanted to get a tape. Guys would ride with him, and you guys would leave and get settled in the next town, and these guys would drink
that's
and.
what we do. Sure. Because we'd finish the job, like we'd be in Tulsa or somewhere. Well, the next night we were supposed to be in Dallas or someplace, 400 or 500 miles away. And we would finish the job, and my gang we'd pile in my car, and I'd tell the guys, now I had just about enough money to get there, you know, and I'd tell the guys, well, listen, we're gonna, I knew that the towns, I'd look at the map and figure out what towns we were gonna hit, and I knew I could go about 200 miles, something like that, and I'd have to stop for gas. And this was at night. We'd leave maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and drive overnight, see. And we'd stop. That's if you guys got any bathroom work to do, if you're gonna drink some beer or anything like that, well, I do it while I stop for gas. I'm not gonna stop other than that, see.
Well, you had some pretty regulars out
So the guys that went with me, yeah, we're all pretty regular guys. So we'd go, and we'd get there maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we'd go around to the different hotels. All the hotels were in receivership then. This was during the Depression days, in the early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And all the hotels were in depression, and you could get rooms. We'd go around and bargain. I'd go around and bargain with the hotels, and we'd get rooms, 2 in a room for $1 a man.
Oh, is that right?
Hotels. Like you'd go down here to the Chase Hotel and get in there for $1 a man, And then we'd pick a hotel that had a nice dining room too, because then the guys would all eat their meals in the dining room and sign the tab. They didn't have any money. See?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we played our job, well then Steele would have to take the money from the job, bail us out, pay the hotel bill, and get us out, and then we'd move on to the next one. And they'd his gang would diddle along and stop. One guy had to go to the bathroom, so they'd stop, and he'd
Get a
go to the
six pack
bathroom.
or.
Well, then the other guys would start playing slot machines or drinking beer or eating a sandwich or something like that.
Oh shit.
And they'd go on. So they'd diddle around for an hour or so at every stop, where I'd just stop for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then they'd diddle around. Well, sometimes it'd be late afternoon. We'd get into town, pick a hotel, get a hotel, and go to bed. And those poor devils would come dragging in 5 or 6 hours later. We'd have a night's sleep, by the time they got there. Then they'd scout around to find out what hotel we were in.
Oh shoot.
Because I'd make the arrangements. They'd find the hotel, and then they'd check in. And they'd maybe get a couple hours sleep, and there'd be time to go on the job again, see?
Same thing again.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, a lot of times we'd hit a town like that, and Steele had a little combo playing in a joint down there, and he saw him and had a little chat with him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he? Well, did Bert knew you obviously then?
Bert knew that I had been with
Played with him.
Blue
Huh?
Steel, yeah.
Yeah.
So when he found out Blue Steel was there, well, then he went and
Well, had that been quite a few years later?
oh yeah.
Obviously, I
Sure.
guess.
Oh yeah, sure. Because see, this was 1935 that I was with Steele, and then it was after the war, I guess, when we were working at McDonald. Must have been 45. Must have been at least 10, 12 years later. Steele was had a little combo down there somewhere. He was a great showman,
Oh, you said was he the guy that had the gun?
Yeah, he's the guy that had the gun.
Had the pistol?
First night with him down on the road there in the oil fields down in Texas. There was a great big grand piano, and they always took the top off the piano,
Mhm.
It would be open, and I would always set up behind the piano, and I'd lay my music book right on the strings on the piano, on the tail end of the string,
Right.
that didn't affect the piano. And so I got all set up, and about time to start playing, and here comes Steele with his he had a full dress outfit on with swallowtail coats and all. He was a sharp-looking guy. He was a big guy. And he comes up back to the piano and reaches in a pocket, I don't know, back pocket or something, and he pulls out this pistol and he puts it under my music on the piano. And then I find out later that he had been
Then it came off the track. I
oh,
got it back on. It's
you got it back on?
Yeah, it's okay, but
Go in there's soap and water.
Rinse up there.
it's okay. I'm not gonna ride though.
I think it happens if you stop too quick too. See,
Yeah.
the chain comes loose.
That's it for you, Ram. You got to move out. So he put up. Well, you said he was quite a ladies' man, anyway.
Oh yeah, he was a ladies' man, and the girl singer in the band was his fifth wife, I think. at the time.
Oh golly, is that right?
And he'd leave her. She was a real nice little gal, and she had been what they call Baby Peggy in the movie, which goes way, way back. As a child, she was a child movie star. And
Oh, for real, huh? Yeah.
For real, yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, she had been. And she was a good singer, a nice-looking little girl, and a real nice person. And how the hell she ever got trapped into marrying that clown, I don't know. But anyway, he would leave her after a job. She'd go on up the room in the hotel and go to bed, and he'd go on out tomcatting on her.
Oh, is that
She
right?
knew this, but I guess there was nothing she could do about it. She put up with it. Finally, I heard that she left him. But He was funny. He was a real
Character, huh?
character, yeah. But a good musician and a terrific showman. Boy, you couldn't beat him on the stage, you know, for selling the crowd, having the crowd.
That's the way.
Yeah.
That was Chance Trump suit.
Yeah,
He had that magnetism
yeah.
that of anybody I've ever worked with, I would rather follow him out there because he had them warmed up. He had them in a good mood, and he something about him. He had that magnetism
Yeah, well, Steele was like
that.
that.
Oh, they would just
He'd have the
beaten out of his
beaten
hand.
out of his hand. But as a businessman, he was just a complete flop. He couldn't hold on to a dime or run anything right.
one paycheck to the next,
Yeah,
kind of, huh?
we lived from paycheck. We lived from job to job. That's right.
Oh,
Unfortunately for me, I had just bought this new car, and I'd just come off all summer on the boat, and I had a fair bank account back here in St. Louis.
well, what'd you guys make a night then?
Oh, yeah, it might be anywhere from $1 to $5.
Is that right? All night long, 3 hour?
It was
Take what you could get,
take
huh?
what you could get, sure.
Well, did you play?
Well, of course, we had a booking agent, and the agent would have the deal all set up, and most of the time, sometimes it would be with Steele, sometimes it was on commission, but I think most of the time it was probably a fixed price, and Steele would get the money. But then we carried 18 people, and some of these guys there were more than that. Some of the
18 people?
We had 18 people on the stage, in the band.
Good
'Cause
heavens!
there were a boy and a girl singer, and Steele, and they had two drummers. Two drummers would set up. He was a character, but he had a heck of a good band.
Well, it must have been a big. You
Big
played
band.
big stuff, big
Oh, yeah, it was a
ballroom,
big band, sure. Oh yeah, sure. It was all ballroom stuff. Sure.
mostly hotels
we
or
played
country
theaters.
club, and
Yeah, we'd play theaters once in a while. But
good heavens!
the trouble was that, like I say, they would diddle the money away on silly things, you know.
Hmm.
And of course, this was all during Depression, and there wasn't a lot of money floating around. So if we got $5 a night, that was pretty good. But the trouble is, we didn't play every night. Sometimes we'd pull into a town, play the job, and we didn't know where our next job was going to be, and it might be 2 or 3 days. And we'd be holed up there, and the guys would be signing tabs for their food. They'd eat, you know, and sign the ticket.
Like the movie, the Laurel and Hardy lowering the suitcase out.
Yeah, we never did that I know of.
Kind of close, eh?
But I think Steele was probably on the verge of doing that.
Well, who the heck was that in the? It wasn't Laurel and Hardy, but one of those where the guy'd lower the. It was the rooming house, you know. He'd lower
Yeah.
the.
Yeah. Oh boy, they were funny guys.
Oh shoot! Oh, that's great. These guys would play 3 nights in a row, and then they'll be off for like a week or something, you know.
Yeah.
But those must have been some good times.
Well,
Interesting times.
it did me a lot of good in one way, in that because I was always a very conservative guy and always thinking ahead and prepared, you know. And but we get down there with him, and this was a completely different kind of a life, you know, where you never knew where the hell your next meal was coming from.
Oh, that's something.
And I had money in my corner pocket of my own, you know,
Yeah.
and I had checks if I ever was up against it, and I had my car, so I could pull out and go home if things really got too rough anytime, see. So I knew that, and but many a time, I'll bet you we'd start out with several hundred miles to drive. Gasoline, of course, was cheap and that, you know, and maybe 200 miles or so to go overnight. And I'll bet you, other than what I had in my corner pocket, there wouldn't be $5 in the crowd.
Good heavens, is that right?
We'd start out, yeah. We had a couple hundred miles to go, and the other guys, they were lucky if some of them had $1 or $2 or 50 cents. Of course, you could eat meals. They could get meals for 50 cents, or probably even in the hotels. They probably didn't pay over $1 for a good dinner.
Well, any of the same guys that were on the boat with you play with him, or was that?
Butch Thurston was a trombone player, and he used to drive the old truck. And one time, we we had several hundred miles to go. I don't know where we came from, but we were going to a little town down in Louisiana or Texas, down on the Louisiana-Texas border, down on the Gulf. And I went on with my crowd, and we got there, I guess, late afternoon that time. We must have spent the night wherever had we been. And I got there late afternoon. We didn't know where we were playing. All we knew we were playing Lake Charles, Louisiana, or something like that was the name of the town.
Mm-hmm.
We'd pull in there, in our usual way, get a hotel, and get checked in and everything. And it was time to go to eat. Well, then what we would do, we'd buy a paper to find out where the hell we were playing. See the ad in the paper, Blue Steel.
Oh.
So we're having dinner, and we buy a paper, and it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. And we buy this paper, and here's a nice big ad that said, Blue Steel and his band, concert at 7:30. And here at 6 o'clock, we're the only ones in town. Our clothes, our instruments, and everything are on a truck somewhere out there,
Good heavens.
100 miles away or something. We don't know where they are. And so we finish our dinner and we go on out then along the road to try to flag stealing them down, because it so happened that the place was right off the highway coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew he'd have to go right by it coming in, so we're out there on the road waiting for him. Well, I guess 7:30 passes, nobody there to play the concert. I guess we went and checked into to the management of the place. The crowd was there. It was a big crowd.
Oh, good heavens.
And about 8 or 9 o'clock, Steele pulls in with his carload, and we flag him down, and we go on in there. And then this place